14 separate hospital visits, 3 world-class hospitals all across the city, 4 possible different and very serious diagnoses,
early stage of Parkinson.
Tumor.
Yeah, that's cancer, right?
and a trio of varying levels of brain scans, all in order to get one very serious and unfortunate diagnosis
Parkinson disease.
at a total cost to me of new Taiwan dollars.
I think maybe it's so cheap, I get confused.
Yes, my rather unfortunate and serious diagnosis of Parkinson's disease last year certainly wasn't an easy one.
没有办法确定。
Okay, that's not very good news.
Definitely wasn't a stress-free one.
Oh my god, that's so scary.
But if you watch to the end of the video, you'll find out how much it cost me using Taiwan's awesome national health insurance and whether or not it was an expensive one.
花费200。
How much was the CT scan?
500多吧。
So yes, I've come down here to the Taiwan National Health Insurance Bureau, where I'm hoping they can give me a breakdown of how much each appointment, each brain scan cost me with health insurance,
500吧。
and how much it would have cost me without health insurance.
What the fuck? How much?
And I'm hoping that in this video, it will demonstrate to you guys that Taiwan National Health Insurance is the backbone of keeping this country strong, healthy, and working efficiently. Let's get inside, see if they can help me. So yes, as anybody living in Taiwan will tell you, especially foreigners, walking into a government administrative building with a mission is a very risky affair if you value your sanity. But luckily for me, after a very polite greeting,
你会讲中文吗？
一点点。
好，来10到21号柜台。
a relatively short wait as far as things could have gone, and after finding the first wrong person,
要去6楼申请就医记录。
6楼
对。
I went to the 6th floor as directed, and after getting a rather beautiful shot of my own arse, I found the second wrong person.
一些健保没有给付的那个部分我们看不到的。
哦，真的？
对，
But despite being the second wrong person, this lady did actually explain something very interesting to me about national health insurance points and how the system works.
健保我们大概只有10% 是你要付的部分负担。
没错。
对，那我们只看得到这个部分负担，可是你应该会有缴了挂号费，
对。
好，或者缴了一些健保没有给付的那个部分我们看不到的。
哦，真的？
对，所以我们只有很少的金额，就是你医疗方面，譬如说你做 MRI， 你这次去看医生，可能你做了很多检查，但是它出来的门诊部分负担最多也是420块而已。如果是大医院，像中国啊，或是像龙总，像那种比较大的医院，它最多就是420。
Now, yes, I'll explain a little bit more about the point system a little bit later, as it is a bit boring and a little bit nerdy, but it may be the reason as to why I got misdiagnosed last year.
那有时候太小的中风会看不到。
But yes, as for now, I needed to go back to each individual hospital that I'd visited last year and ask them for a printout of my medical records.
So 我回去医院，他们可以给我吗？
你回去医院看，他可不可以给你一个 list？
Okay, so it looks like it's not as easy as I thought. I should have kept a receipt of every appointment, but I was too busy worrying whether or not my brain was about to explode. So yeah, let's get to hospitals and see if I can get some receipts. First stop, Linshin Hospital, where I had my MRI scan, my DAT radioactive scan, and several consultations with the doctor.
我要我的就医记录。
是用在报税吗？
对。
但是收据副本一张的话是20块。你要去年1整年的吗？
对。
I'm sorry for your situation. I saw the videos.
哦，你看过吗？
Yeah.
No, that's very.
So everything okay? Everything alright?
Yeah. It's as good as can be. Thanks to Taiwan Hospital. A very successful visit to Linshin Hospital. We got a full printout of all of my medical records from last year, and thanks so much to the guy that helped me there for his sensitivity and his care. asking me the same question I've been asked by many people recently.
Is everything alright?
Are you okay? Yes, I'm okay. As good as can be. I think people don't know what the hell to say to somebody that's been diagnosed like this. But yeah, really sweet, kind, caring guy that's seen my first video.
Right there. I think everything alright.
But yes, back onto the scooter on the way to the next stop, China Medical University Hospital.
哎，你好，我要印我的就医记录。好，450块，比我的 CT scan 多。
I have just spent 450 NTs printing out the receipts of every procedure. I'm pretty sure printing out all of the receipts is more expensive than I paid for the CT scan. So yes, despite the extortionate cost of the printout of my medical records, 450 NT, I now have everything that I need to go through step by step and calculate how much my diagnosis cost from the first appointment at the clinic on May 9th, 2024, all the way through the misdiagnoses and the correct diagnoses that occurred on August 1st. So let's do it. Let's start calculating the cost of my diagnosis, beginning here at Dr. Wu's clinic, where I came twice at $200 per visit. Let's not forget that Mr. Wu, Dr. Wu, was absolutely spot on with his diagnosis.
Suspect the Parkinson, suspect that.
But as I was advised by my friends to get a second opinion, I came here to China Medical University Hospital on May 20th, where I paid a 320 Taiwanese dollar fee to see the neurologist who, after diagnosing a stroke,
怕中风，
recommended me to have a CT scan.
我要帮你买一个电脑断层。
I paid $0 for a CT scan. So it was obviously included as part of that $320 initial consultation fee, but without health insurance, it shows that it would have cost just 5,035 NT dollars, which is still incredibly cheap when we take a look at the prices in the UK, where without health insurance under private healthcare, a CT scan could cost as much as 25,000 NT. And in fact, I was back in China Medical University Hospital on the 3rd of June. It is June 3rd. And it is results day from the CT scan. An initial consultation fee of $330 this time. But here's where things get a little bit messy with my diagnosis, as the doctor still insisted that I'd had a small stroke that couldn't be seen on the CT scan.
那有时候太小的中风会看不到。
And as the recommended treatment for a light stroke also includes occupational therapy, I was also charged an extra $320 for that. The next few visits to China Medical University were just to pick up medicine for a stroke that I simply hadn't had. 340 NT on the 10th of June, 590 NT on the 1st of July, and 610 NT on the 29th of July. And that's going to bring me to the point that I mentioned earlier. Taiwan's national health insurance system uses a fee-for-service point system that pays hospitals, clinics, and doctors for their service. Every procedure, consultation, or test has a points value set by the National Health Insurance Administration. And where it gets messy is the fact that the points to dollar value changes month on month. The government adjusts the value of each point monthly according to how many services were billed across the entire system. Why does it matter for this video? Well, hospitals try their best to stay within the national health insurance budget, and if they don't, their reimbursement rate per point goes down. So what the hospitals do to ensure they stay within budget? Well, they increase the use of generic drugs instead of named drugs, try their best to reduce the length of time that inpatients are kept within the hospital, and non-urgent procedures and scans may be delayed until the next month. Maybe performing a CT scan is much cheaper to the hospital than performing an MRI scan. Just as with any government department, whether it's tourism, education, or indeed healthcare, budgets matter. They can't go spending money willy-nilly. But yes, sometimes corners may be cut or scans may be changed, all in order to protect the future budget so that they can give the best care possible in future. For whatever reason, I didn't feel comfortable with the stroke diagnosis and headed to Linshin Hospital on the 25th of July for a third opinion, where the consultation fee was 390 NT, which paid for Linshin's doctor's recommended MRI scan and DAT scan. Okay, so on this day I see the doctor and
The MRI is 300
Yes. So this is both MRI and the scan.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So, because I see the doctor this day,
Yes.
he recommends 2 scans.
Two scans equal to the means.
Okay. I think maybe it's so cheap, but confused.
That without health insurance, and according to my app, would cost me 15,000 NTs combined, but in the UK, without health insurance, would cost a whopping $28,000. But the key point here is that the doctor I saw at Linshin was willing to spend his hospital's points in order to get me diagnosed as quickly and efficiently as possible. When I went in for my final report on the MRI scan and the DAT scan, I paid another consultation and medicine fee of 580 NT dollars, bringing the total cost of my Parkinson's disease diagnosis to a total of 3,880 Taiwanese dollars, less than 100 UK pounds. Absolutely insane. I am so lucky to live in a country not only with free healthcare, and of course the UK has free healthcare, but the standard and the speed and the efficiency here in Taiwan is absolutely exemplary. Yes, there was a blip with my diagnosis, but again, there was options available to me where I could just go to another hospital around the corner and get a second and third opinion and get to the bottom of what was wrong with me. This wouldn't happen in the UK. I would probably still be waiting for an MRI scan. So I want to say thank you to every doctor, to every nurse, to every administrator that helped me get my bills paid and get my treatment as efficiently as possible. And of course, a big thank you to you guys for watching and for the support in the first video where I gave my diagnosis away. I was blown away, not only with the donations, but also the messages of support and recommendations. I've already began a fitness regime, rehabilitation regime to get myself as strong as possible. I'm 100% going to do my best to stay strong, healthy, and live a long, full, happy life for myself and for William. As for now, and as always, I'll see you next time in My Life in Taiwan. Peace. Bye-bye.